And we're live.
Excellent. Hello there, world, future humans and fellow seekers. This is Nai Coach.
And this is Jailene.
All right, so today we're going to be doing our normal, going with stuff that kind of is immediately of interest to myself and or Jailene, and mixing it in with requests we get from the forums. Today we have some ones that are from the forums recently, so we'll be touching on that. So then starting off as you usually do with sort of state of being, fifth gear stuff, and that helps us get into it. This week I have been doing the third week of the fine purification, and it was separating between dur versus ad. I was doing duos again. So for example, Naiji versus Jaini, they both have a lot in common except for the dur versus ad. That's the major difference. So duos like that. Trying to get over 96%. I am closer, new high score, 95.7, which is higher than my previous one when I did the entire collection, duo style. So still working to get there. Next week, I plan to do a very challenging one. I think these 3 weeks have built me up for, which is telling apart the eye palettes when everything else is similar. So for example, telling apart Jinai and Jibai, that can be quite tricky. In fact, Jailene and I were working on the Swayze brothers last night. So that can be a very, very challenging one. But I'm looking forward to it. I guess that does it for that. The Rosetta Stone. Other things is, I guess, yeah, I was working on a case that we'll go over lightly today. It was requested. It was a typology person, and I thought that they were a Nizai, but I want to look at them again because I think there's a chance they might be a Zenai. And when I went to, kind of look at the case, there's, people talking typology, personality type stuff. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I had to keep doing this purification. This is kind of like the process part again. Today is part of my process. I had to really no, it's not yet time. We must stay eye on the prize, have to get the data collection properly sorted. That's the most important thing. But listening to them talk, I was like, oh, you're coming at it all wrong. Because they're like trying to guess what her personality type is. And like one of the things was, she might be an INFJ or a ENFJ, and you know how you can tell the difference? First of all, they're trying to decide if she's a Naiji or not. She's not. she's Ab and Zez. I mean, it's amazing. Like the stuff they were going back and forth. As detectives were actually tracking, I'm like, what are they looking at? You know what I mean? Because if you've done this, the fact that she's Ab and that she's Zez, that's not really challenging. If she's Vez or Nez, not super challenging, but a little more challenging still. But like those things kind of like come fairly quickly. So to be talking about, is she a Durab? It's like, okay. So that's just funny. But then was, something to the effect of how many, they're joking, but not really. How many emotional validations do they give per minute?
Okay.
So that's a kind of tracking, but it's like as people who are actually tracking the phenomenon, yeah, that's not how you track this. But that was hilarious. But yeah, because it was hilarious, I really want to just help these people. But this is the thing that must be done first. But I am super looking forward to it. So like I said, about 20 weeks. This is week 3, going into week 4. I am very, very excited. Jailene?
And I have been just at it with work, school, and gardening.
Gardening.
Yeah, I've been trying to get things under control.
Really, it's been gardening, work, school.
Well, no, I've been able to manage things.
Oh, I know,
really
but
well.
No, I wasn't as far as like your official stuff, but as far as like in your heart.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because she actually listed it in sort of like professional.
Well, in allotments of time, because I have been spending quite a bit of time with work and school stuff. But as far as enjoyment, yes, the yard, taking care of the plants, getting stuff under control, that is more fun for me, being out in the garden. So, but I've been able to manage all the other things and to leave me time to be able to to do this without, being neglectful with the other things, other responsibilities that I have.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. So that kind of brings us in. So as far as things that are interesting you right now, because of where I am, I know that there will probably be a little bit of shortfalls in some areas, like for example, all the ROM, all of them, all 8 of those gender mojos. I wouldn't mind a little bit of a buffer. When it comes to a lot of the Zez mojos, I actually have, buffers that I haven't had to bite into, like when the purifications have come in and there have been shortfalls. They never have shortfalls. They still have excess. So anyway, I'm looking for that. So what I was doing is I was looking at some trailers of some movies that are coming out, I think this year. And I want to kind of just do something different, which is something we do here. But I don't know how much you've done it online, but I think it's good to actually show, because sometimes this is what you're doing. You're looking for something in particular. And I'm going to kind of just touch on this briefly. I'll do more in the future. But we have different kinds of reads. Obviously, there's lab read versus field read. There's also reading an individual and trying to get them before you get anything else, and then go as deep as you can with it. That's like an individual read. But then there's also mass reading, where you're trying to understand a bubble. And so you have to go big by the very nature of it, and you do that different. So I guess what are we talking about? We're talking about
movies. You were talking about some movies.
Oh, yes. The kind of reading which is different in that it's somewhat similar to both those. In fact, incorporates both those elements, except you're sifting. And so I think I'll start using that term, sifting reading. Because of teaching, we don't tend to do it this much, but it is good to know. And obviously, for example, if you're interested in dating, or you're interested in certain kinds of energies, you're going to sift. You're going to go to the internet. You're going to kind of look over lots of faces quickly, and you're going to let your lens do a particular thing, which is see things, sets it off at a high level of might have what you need. And you kind of we haven't really talked much about it. We do it all the time, where you go in, you're like trying to find a particular thing. So anyway, I want to do some of that tonight with those new movie casts.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's start with one.
All right.
So this is sifting reading. Because of the way you come at, say, individual reading, these different readings can almost seem at cross purposes, and we might think one is superior, but you actually do need all of them because you want to be able to read what is in front of you when you need to read what's in front of you. But you also want to be able to find what you're looking for, and that's a different way of looking at it. So it's still honoring mojo, but in this case, it's honoring mojo kind of on like a motif scale. Like you want to have a certain motif. For that motif, you need certain alchemy. You need certain mojos that say you're going to go in and look for them. So in this case, this is the alchemy of building the Rosetta Stone of the human condition, and it requires 32 sets of a particular 1,000. All right, with that in mind, boom, here we go. I got a bunch of stuff. All right, Ashby.
Ashby.
I was wondering, I don't remember most of these, but like the first one, I'm like, oh, I started doing it, is
Ashby a movie?
It's a movie, and I'm wondering, how about you go up here and type in Ashby trailer? Maybe I didn't spell it right. But I'm wondering if there might be giant E in there we don't have. First of all, yeah, so it's weird they don't have it.
Maybe.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. It's 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an older.
Okay, so Nat, is that who it is? Nat Wolf? I was wondering if he's a giant E. Do we have Nat Wolf?
See?
It's right here. This is important. I'll kind of talk through it as we do it because we haven't done much of it. These are all just natural that Jolene and I have been doing this for a long time. Things you do to save energy. So first of all, every time you look at a photograph and use that aesthetic appreciation, and then you constellate in your head while you're doing it, that is like a major primary use of your lens. And you want to use that only when it's most needed. So right now we can actually use a different part of our psyche's energy to go look up whether or not we have them already. It's worth it because that energy won't really tax the lens too much. So, because even when you reread something, it costs less than the first time you read it, but you still pay. Naiji. Okay, fine. See, this is good. That saved two things. One, we already have them, and looks like if we had read him, it might have panned out to actually be what we wanted. All right. Although I wouldn't mind eating the ROM tonight, but the Jaini have been particularly elusive, so I'm keen on those. All right.
Any others?
Scanning. What about Adam Alkirk?
You want to check them on the list first?
Yeah, sure. And see, one thing that I will do now, kind of articulating what I'm doing, is, John, you can speak for yourself. For me, since I know I want Rom, I'm kind of just looking to disqualify them. This is interesting. Instead of looking to catch something, you're actually looking to sort of deflect because it's sifting. I'm deflecting with Zez Cheeks. If I see Zez Cheeks, I could do another thing. I could go for Vez. I could go for Jai. There's all kinds of things I could do where I'm like, I know that as like a high level, I'm not going to be needing that, not for this session. So if I see the Zez Cheeks, that tells me my lens can power down. It can not power down. It can pause its exertion. So he looks like he might be Zezzy. Just gonna move on. As soon as I get anything that hits that, I basically made that part of my lens very sensitive. Is it Zez? If it is, I stop. If not, I will expand the amount of energy I'm using to take the sample in. All right. And what about Jason Davis? So we'll go until we get one, or we just run out of the movie. Okay, he looks small, so move on. All right, cool. So that's one. That's kind of like one go through there. We basically kind of read this movie. It's, you know what I mean. So we talked about reading bubbles. Usually that's mass. This isn't as big as mass. It's the size of whatever room you're in, whatever movie list you're looking at, whatever magazine you have, whatever item you have. You're going to go through it, and you're going to kind of like try to not get distracted by anything that's not going to have what you need, and then allows a signal for those that you might need get more sensitive, rise to the surface. So we did it here. We kind of devoured this movie in a way, and moving on. Or perhaps sculpted is the right word. We kind of did some sculpting there. Mm-hmm. Like in the whole cast, we're kind of like, does it have such and such? We sculpt that. Kind of gives an initial pass. All right, so let's go to requested.
We've got.
Okay, so since I mentioned it in the beginning, I'll go ahead and just pick up with that. Is the sample that ended me up looking a little bit of Typology Town today. I was like, oh, bring back memories. I'd kind of like moved past that. One of the wonders of having my memory situation is that that stuff kind of just trails off as I get focused on new samples. But I was like, oh yeah, Typology Town. So anyway, with her, I was wondering if perhaps I was seeing bucket. She had been read initially as Nizai, but we've come a long way on that. And I just recently done Nizai this week, actually, Nizai versus Zenai, and I'm curious about her. So we can take a look.
That is Boom Chica.
I believe that is her name.
They weren't able to see it, so that's why I call it up.
Right, but that might just be her channel name.
Oh yeah, probably, I'm sure.
Or maybe that is her real name, I don't know. Okay, so Ab and Zez right away. One thing I'm thinking is she has a very upbeat kind of riff. And that's something we've noticed is like Zenai, who have that really kind of upbeat riff, it can seem add. I'm curious. She makes these big smiles.
Oh yeah, but that's
this lower lip. This seems like this here. The one that really caught my eye.
Yeah.
It's going downward.
It is going downward. Here.
These are things that when I was, I had a little chat with my spirits when I saw this, when they're talking about how you tell apart the Durham and which Durham she is because of how much emotional validation is done per minute. And I was like, at the same time, I had these two feelings at the same time. One is I was like, grr, I think I may have gotten that wrong. And of course, like, oh, that kind of hurts your pride. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I felt extra powerful because this is how it's done. Like, this is actually solving the problem. But what they're doing, like, that will never, ever get it as much as it runs. Because the question is, does she have bucket or does she have Cheshire? How low is the register of Jez in the face? Is that Jai or G? So I feel really good. I'm like, lens upgrade. Go lens. When it comes to studying human condition, lens work is the way to go. But yeah, so I'm going to tell you soft read, Z9. How are you?
Yep.
By the way, that's very therapeutic for me to do, because now I can kind of like let that settle, because I know I'll be talking to that community again. But so I'm like, now's not the time. So I'm gonna let that fade back into the background.
Who's next?
Now I believe we will go with bleed. Well, that might be an older one too. We'll come back to that one. The young Kieslowski. Yes. Do we have Ryan Malgarini? Looks like he's the lead. I'm wondering if he's shiny.
Don't have him on the list.
Don't have him. Let's get into him.
He looks kind of odd. Maybe.
He's young
looks
there.
Odd.
Looks odd, right?
Yeah. And that looks like.
He's younger here than he is in the trailer. I saw in the trailer he looked longer there.
He's looking downward also.
Yeah,
That's a bad
true.
angle.
What if you type in that movie? The images from that. Hands are a little long.
Mm-hmm. They are.
That seems like shy, I think. Expression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It does.
You're wondering about Nija possibly? Because
I was wondering about Nijai because of the,
he is. I see what you're saying.
compacting face when but I know that
He's pretty young there.
yeah, he's pretty young here, so he's got baby fat. I'll take that into consideration. It's a kind of, I'm not sure.
He's got kind of a down tempo energy. If he's like a Nijai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a clip from the movie there.
Right, and I was looking at his hands here. Yeah, it looks like a shiny. Okay.
Nice. Boom. Excellent day. Bless you.
Thank you. So how do you want to capture?
I guess just put in the document, or
Yeah, I can do that.
Yep. All right. One possible shiny male. Our the initial soft reads. I mentioned that in a while. These are our initial impressions on the case, but case are still open and ongoing.
Okay.
All right. Back to requested. Okay, so Mitchell put something in that he was talking about Rebecca Goldstein. The case is in there twice. One says Vaiji, one says Ziny. So this kind of brings up the high level something we talked about before is the weight of needing to get the Rosetta Stone built. That's something that you have to watch out for. And this kind of dovetails into talking about sifting reading. When you do the sifting reading, you do want to sift, but you have to watch out for overreach. It's a big issue with that kind of reading. But the upside is, I mean, well, the necessity is that that kind of reading is required for certain life skills, certain, you know, scenarios you find yourself in. You have to do sifting. So with her, I initially read her. Actually, I think I read her as Nizi, and Steven Pinker, I think, is her husband, as Nizai. And this gets into, you know, the fact that I saw she's long, sub, Zez, sheer cheeks. He's broad, and also with the Zez cheeks. And so it fit within my conceptualization easier. That's what they were going to be. But I'm realizing actually that no, she, I believe, is still Zaini. And the Vaiji came from the fact that that's one of the gender mojos that I'm having, you know, Jelly knows each time, like, oh, the Vaiji ladies. So that's been an ongoing thing. And so that I was just sort of like trying to pile up possible with the new collage additions, just trying to pile up possible Vaiji lady samples. In the course of that, I actually grabbed her a second time. But anyway, no, I believe she's still Zaini. You can see here the cheeks are sheer, and that's Vi going on. Now, one thing, well, Vi strong, but not natural state, and that was actually the difficulty with this case, and why I actually thought for a second she might be a Vaiji, and originally probably even thought Nizi, is she has a lot of poise, a lot of Vi poise, and if you look real quick, she's kind of maneuver-wise, she's maneuvering here in a way you see Vaiji do more often. If you look at the way, for example, the Zaini ladies, a lot of them take pictures. In general, they use their Ji. This is not the most typical way. It's not, you know, uncommon, but it's different. It shows not only strong development of Vi and Ji, but a habitual use of presenting with that as like a lead. With him, I actually want to take a look at him. I pulled him because I started out feeling like he was Nizai because of broadness, or Zaini because he sometimes seemed quite localized. But I pulled him, and it's because I think he might actually be like a real conceptual Zenai. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He might be one of the most conceptual and sort of softer riffs I've seen, even compared to, like, say, a Dawkins or a Michio Keiko, you know, ones that have a more soft bardic style. Now, Dawkins can be, you know, acerbic, but still he has the way he uses the voice, it's a bit calming, a bit ASMR-y. And also he has something else, a little bit of a nervousness, similar to what we saw with Andy Spade, Nizi, but similar, where they have Z, and sometimes you associate that with sort of like this nervous energy. The Zenai, the way they present it, often doesn't come off as twitchy, except for some of the acting samples. There's a few of them that have like the kind of, you know, classic twitchy energy. He has a little bit of a twitchiness, and I thought it was fluttery. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That twitchy, because it's like a soft twitchy. Interesting. So I'm still pulled back on him, but that's what I'd like to look. I'd like to see if he's possibly a Zenai, because the two adserb, I was trying to make those fit, but they were not fitting comfortably. All right. Can we look up Steven Pinker?
Can I take a look at her some more?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, she was actually an already done case. That's why.
I wasn't so as familiar with them as you are.
No problem.
But yeah, I see the crystalline spider.
Yeah, the Trump is helpful there.
Yeah. As
well, I can see very, very localized, because she's even here. You can see the whole Vi. She has a lot of Vi going on. She's like in, you know, she's presenting. Now here, he has that's pretty broad and low. I don't know, even for like a Xena, there's something more substantial about it. Like it looks kind of piloty.
Yeah, it does. Highlighting is good.
Durham, for those who are familiar with that term. I'm sorry, Durab. It's a big sideways smile, but I think that might be leading to the lower lip.
Yeah. All right, let me type in his name.
Yeah. Yeah, his body posturing is one of the less yang ones I've seen.
Yeah, I can see correlation with Gina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a sensitive Gina like that.
Mm-hmm.
Up here, yeah, that might be Bucket.
Yeah, there.
Bucket meaning that it's lower than Cheshire, and it goes big and sideways like the Cheshire, but it's led by the lower lip. And its shape is different often, where because it's the lower lip, it looks like it's bucketing down the motion as compared to sort of like that flaring up that the Nizai and Vizai have. Yeah, you can hear her pose.
Yeah. Oh, here.
And those muscles, the Zhai muscles. I mean, everyone has muscles there, but the way they are with the Zhai emojis is different. More activity. Sure thing.
Thank you.
Oh, here we go. Just kind of pull back a little bit. Yeah, it's very low set.
Yeah.
Even more so than Nizai or Vizai would have.
And you see the lower lip there. Leading.
And he has this kind of, very kind of controlled, restrained professor energy. That jut is quite natural, and I'm kind of relaxing and allowing it to be.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, lower lip.
Lower lip. Okay. All right.
Nice.
Z9.
Z9. Yeah. That's Durab. That's helmet.
Here.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Cool.
Nice. Yep. Right, so back up to the young Kozlowski. We still are seeing there's anything good in there. Melora, I think we have them. I got that. I know this may seem, I'm not sure how people are seeing this, but there's like levels to it. Now, if you've been doing a long time like we have, you can kind of scroll through and almost get little hints. So I'm doing that while also managing how much effort to spend, like versus likelihood. For example, as the list gets lower, you kind of get an idea like there might not be a whole lot for that person. That kind of makes it more likely to be challenging, both for the media and for the motivation. With that said, I'm curious about Angie Light.
I like a Zaini.
I think maybe Zaini.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I still need some of them too. Zaini and Nai-Z. The two Obser, I have a good amount of. I have a comfortable buffer. Yeah, I think it's Zaini. So where we're getting that from is she has elongation, but a receptivity of holding space. Like here's a really good example. Now she has pretty flat cheeks, and she's kind of in repose. So I could see how this could be seen as like stern looking, quote unquote, because she's in uniform and she's gonna look and everything. But still, the eyes are actually drinking in. And her energy, if you've seen enough samples, she's holding space with that Zez. That's how we tell the difference between Zai and Z, is one has a holding space, a chilly holding space. She has like a towery kind of, immovability to her, but it's not actually pushing. For example, she was, likely other thing you could think of is a Nai Z. It's not piercing. I'm not getting a piercing energy from her gaze, although she is giving a little bit of hard gaze. But how much Vi is being used there, that is altered state and doesn't get the same penetrative quality.
This knee is, that's a lot of knee.
That's a lot of knee, natural state.
And it's making a big expression. It's not going up into her cheeks and eyes, the motive expression.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, so as far as like the Zez, yeah, same. That's really good. You can see it.
Okay.
Boom. All right, so we'll add that. Yeah, actually, just something I'm really sifting for. I'm sifting for der serve. Basically, if I see a der serve, I can move on. Well, yeah. Actually, all the serve except for the sub-serve females, the Zyme and the Niz. I could use some there. All right, back to requested. All right, this is another one from the forums. 011 was asking about Review Tech USA and another sample as well. What happened was that both those, they were moved to scant media because of what I saw at the time. But in my travels, I actually found a better thing of them. For the case of Review Tech USA, he usually does his videos a little bit far back, and it's kind of dark fuzzy. But there was one video where he was closer up to the screen and the lighting was better, and I was like, oh, cool. So I actually just grabbed him. So that's what happened. So yeah, sometimes obviously the media can improve. But I did that without realizing I already had him down to scant media. So anyway, yeah, that's the explanation there. That's basically, I guess we can just kind of make it a real thing. Let's go and take a look at him. Review Tech USA.
All right.
So you can see what I'm talking about. Nice little kind of teaching part as far as like the media. Okay, so some of these ones like this here, and you know, sometimes gonna more like this, a little better, like this, but that's not great. You know what I mean? And here, well, that's kind of something. That's a GIF. But anyway, you get stuff like this, and so I put a scant media. I suspected he's down, by the way. Now it's knee shy. I read him, but I suspected that. But you know, especially if you talk about the Rosetta Stone, I'm currently like building it. These initial bedrock samples, I want to make it the best quality that I can. Obviously, sometimes I have to use, you know, I have to weigh that against how important it would be to have a certain case. But if a case isn't really important, I'm like, that media is not great to work with. But then, I don't know if he's just, people told him that he should work on that. But like, I found one like this, where it was much better. So anyway, this is nice. I can read with this. Obviously, it's a little goofy face here, but pictures that give you a little more to work with. Yeah, here. You guys, here's how he filmed a lot. But this one, yeah, he's done some now where he's up close like this, and the lighting's good. It's clear. You can see the eyes good. Because, you know, obviously what he does, most likely he's going to be a knee shy as compared to a V shy. But when you go to the fuzzy ones, talking about like week 4, how it's going to be a challenging one for me, is because if you're looking at just the eye like this, exactly. The fact that he is Ad, Ab, and Jez, that's easy. You know what I mean? The fact that he's Jai is not as easy, but medium. Telling that he has knee versus V eyes, obviously I could go, oh, he's Ad, he's Ab, he's Jez, he's Jai, and he does what he does. That's usually done by Nija or other Nez. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But I don't want to get there. So that's why I pulled him to scant, because I was like, yeah, he probably is a knee shy, but I want to actually see it and feel like I feel good about seeing it. So now, I don't know if they'll have what okay, but like here, okay, this is good. All right, so looking at this, I can see knee shy because again, he's receptive. He's got the lift. He's got the drinking in. The cheeks are activating. His lower lip is doing more energy, so it's Jai. So we're seeing all that. But in this, you can see this is where like media grades can be very effective. You lose certain cues as the media deteriorates. One of the first ones that goes is telling apart the palates of the eyes, and that's linked with the very subtle quality of the skin. So like another one, click on that again, please, Jolene. Yeah, so obviously seeing whether this is knee or V, that'd be more challenging. But also the fact is that skin had the qualia of knee or V. Even with this, I kind of suspected just because, but since you talk about it, because of that, I actually went more the body posture. So I'm not, I mean, if I saw Nijai, but I wanted to be able to see the eyes. I guess it's particular, but because I was going off of, he's not as embodied. He doesn't have the embodiedness, and that I can still see even with this fuzziness, but not as good as I could obviously in a clear photo. But that's kind of how I would make the distinction. If I had to read them off of that, which I did prior to having those other pictures, that's actually, now I'm thinking about, that's what I did. I'm like, the eyes and skin is pretty fuzzy. The other one you can tell knee from V with Ad Mojos is how their body moves, even how their body just sits. So that's what I went with there. But now I have the more, where is it? That strong. This is good.
That one probably.
Yeah, that's good too. But here, like this is great. Those eyes look very bright. I can see the brightness of them, but as bright and as clear as they are there, it's not that camera lens quality. And the skin, that's more knee skin as compared to V. It doesn't have that same waxy plumpness. I'm using those terms in a complimentary way. V skin, obviously has a lot of things people like about it aesthetically, but it's different. It's a different aesthetic. You think?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
So I feel good about that now. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, so back up, and I think we kind of ran the course in the last one.
Yeah.
What about long shot? At some point, I just started grabbing things from the sidebar, so I don't actually know if there's anything good in there.
Okay, take a look.
Okay, so I know some of those people already. Warren, Gator, Fisher. Okay, I know these people already.
Do you want to take a look at this one? Probably Tony DeCamillis.
Well, it doesn't look like he doesn't have a whole lot. But you want to give it a go?
I was wondering if you had something
Google.
in the
Google?
In the Google. No. All right.
All right, so what about Lola versus? So I have some people already, but it looks like it has some nigh first ladies. And sometimes when you see that little tip, Mojos, they click together. They do. There's natural bubbles that they go together. You can see that even something as big as acting, because there are subgenres and there are roles within those subgenres. And so you'll sometimes actually see like a cluster. It's been very common that I'll be like looking for a shiny dude. I'm having a really hard time. I finally find one from some movie he's in. And like, if I connect on him and other movies he's been in, I'll actually find another handful.
Yeah.
That's usually actually how it happens. It'll be like a desert for a while, and then you go like, and you pull on that thread, because it is very common for Mojos to flock together.
Mm-hmm. No.
All right. So we have, let's see, all those down to here. Maria. Have them. What about her? She's the one interested in the most. Does she have anything?
Let's see.
She looks familiar. Do we have her?
Let's check.
Maria. Shiny. All right. Well, looking at my instincts are good. I was like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I already got her. I already have that one. All right. Anyone else? Let's see. That movie. Not really. Okay. Let's go back to requested.
All right. Back to requested. Got David Kirsch.
Celebrity fitness trainer known
as the butt guy.
The butt guy.
All right.
Okay. You want to go ahead and take some first passes?
Looks as.
Agreed.
See a lot going on in the cheeks. He's smiling. as far as the flexations. And he looks sub.
He looks
to me.
elongated.
I think I'm leaning towards IV, but I'm wondering about, I haven't shut the door to Vizzy, but he looks Vez.
Yeah, does have that kind of earthy signal.
Yeah, and also the skin tone, a little more.
It's embodied. He seems embodied on that. I'm wondering. I'm leaning towards IV as well because the Vizzy I was looking for that that connection I sometimes feel with the Vizzy to Jaini. I love that Jaini connection. I'm looking for him. I'm not.
Yeah, it's clear.
He's actually kind of giving me like that Jivey riff, like the buff.
Yeah.
Versions of those mojos.
Agreed. Yeah, the fingers. They have the tower. Low tension.
And the Zybe had the most yang version of that feathering. That he does. But those are feathered fingers. They're the most, what do you call it? Robust yang of the. They're still yin, but they're a robust yang version of yin. Yeah, and you can see the body lines. He has that sort of loose, holding space quality.
Yeah.
Most embodied. Version of that. Can you click here real quick? Yeah, I'm looking for any expectancy, for example, to kind of rule out, say, Vizzy or something, but I'm not seeing.
No, I'm not seeing that.
I'm seeing clear eyes.
I'm seeing receptivity. A lot of receptivity. Yeah.
And like say rule out Vizzy, well, same thing I guess, but the cheeks aren't moving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
A little more challenging than say sometimes the ad sub knee because they have I think probably the yinnest of the postures. With the gesturing, their gesturing and their posture is probably the yinnest. This gets back, we talked about that thing about in the eyes or the face, the knee versus, or actually the eye palates in general, how they reflect. It can be subtle compared to the cheeks. The cheeks, the jez versus zez, like we just that last case, that pops out one of the quicker things that you grab. But the hands actually. That's a little more challenging. Like telling apart knees eye hands from knees eye hands, that's more challenging. But telling apart Gumby claw from fleshy claw, the difference between the embodiedness of say V versus the knee counterparts, that pops out strong in the body language.
Yeah.
Word.
All right. What's the next movie that we're going to tackle?
Cool. Good Boys. Jacob Tremblay. These look very young.
Yeah, very young.
All right, moving on. The Girl in the Book. Okay. I have a bunch of these. These names sound familiar. Okay. This guy, I wonder what he's going to be. See if my mini picture is good. He kind of reminds me of a Zaini, but I'm hoping he might be a Jaini.
He does look like Nez Tower.
At sub knee.
Yeah, at sub knee.
But how about here? Now, this is good, like fifth gear stuff I have to say. I'll be allowed to get past the stage, but right now I'm still constructing the Rosetta Stone. So there's always these things that are on my mind that I have to be aware of, which is I would like him to be a Jaini. And so this gets back to actually something I was thinking about Boom Shika's case when I saw some things people were commenting down there is like, is she this or that? And this is how you tell it apart. Both those things are off, but that's why it's so important to have data, because I actually have data. I'm very well trained in the data, but I can feel it. I can feel with all that training I have and actual knowledge of what these things physically look at, because it's subtle. I can feel like when I go to look at his cheeks, I feel like, and I have to, you need to know that's there and then put it where it needs to go. Basic meditation techniques, it's floated up. The best thing to do is not try to ignore it because it'll keep just bugging you, messing up your footing, your meditative footing. You want to acknowledge it, like take it into hand, acknowledge it and go, I see you, and that can be attended to at a different time. And then in your psyche, you put it on a shelf for later. So I actually, me talking to you right now is aware that there is a version of me, an aspect of me that really wants a Jaini to be the answer here. But I'm going to put that me over in the corner, and I will talk to that me when this case is over. It sounds funny, but this is very, very helpful, because that me is cool. He's doing a really good job, and he's very keen on completing a task. So we don't want to tell him that's bad. It's bad that you want those things. No, it's not. But I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put you a little out of sight of mouth, but I'll come check back on you. And this me is just going to be like, ooh, I wonder what his cheeks are, because that's another part of me too. And I have to let that me come more to the forefront now. So it's kind of funny considering that the other me, we were like really close earlier this morning. We spent hours like, we're getting it done. We're getting it done. You know what I mean? So they're like, okay, that was cool. That was awesome. And we're going to pick back up on that. But now me and this other me, we're just going to geek out on what humans' cheeks do. Anyway, I had that thought when I was looking at those forums, just because they were saying different things, but my general takeaway is, if you don't have some observable thing to know whether or not your head's going the right direction, there's all these natural grooves one's mind has that you'll very easily walk down that groove if you don't have something going, you're not such and such, why? It feels like that in my head because you can't do 50 push-ups. You know what I mean? Something, whatever it is, there has to be something you're like, because that thing you're having in your head, you would have to have this worldly agreement that is true. So it's very important to have something in the world that you can base your ideas on, and then note whether your ideas are walking the right direction, because everyone has proclivities for where that walking begins. And then this is the other thing I picked up. Once the walking starts, it picks up momentum. And then it bumps into other people's idea walking, and things get very jumbled, and then people start shoving and pulling and so forth. And then actually like looking at the object that is being discussed, it gets harder and harder to do, because it kind of feels like the idea walking and the pushing and pulling with other people's idea walking, that's actually the main thing. But really, that's only useful after the scientist comes up from the microscope. That actually, and then you're like, wait a minute, I need to up the amplitude. Bucket versus Cheshire. That's the true conversation between the phenomenon being discussed and your understanding of its truth. So anyway, I was reinvigorated by, again, had those two emotions at the same time. One of like, ooh, I think I got Boom Shiko wrong, and I believe I got it right today, the Zenai. But the power of, if you keep looking at the correct thing, like if you're studying a jaguar, if you keep watching, you'll keep learning. But if you go off and start writing about a jaguar and then going back and forth with other people who are writing about jaguars, basic truths can be walked right past for forever, really, until the actual object of discussion is again put into view and given that lens time we talk about. All right. So with that in mind, since you get the fifth gear, I'm like, ooh, I really want to know what this human's cheeks are. So you saw I put that other me to the side temporarily, and then I had a conversation with this me of like, isn't it cool that we can see what their cheeks are doing? Isn't it cool that we see Bucket versus Cheshire? Yeah. And then it naturally turns to, what's his mouth doing? What are his cheeks doing? So I am now very excited. So his cheeks seem to move a bit to me.
They do. To me too.
And I've been putting Ziny up to kind of falsify, because I know Ziny, you know, would rule out, it would be a likely candidate here with what I'm seeing physiologically, but would rule out what I would like, which is a Ziny right now. So I'm putting that up. That's another technique you can do, is if you are aware that you might have some leaning that you want something to be or want it not to be, I put it up first as a falsifier. I'm like, is he a Ziny? And I actually see if I can find Ziny, because then that will buttress against any leanings you have. You can kind of lean into your leaning. So knowing that in a detached way, I am inclined to lean towards Ziny because of my want. Okay, then let's actually go ahead of that and see if it's not a Ziny. Let's actually try to falsify. Having a joy in falsifying your ideas is a very, very important part of the process. So I did. Actually, like, is he Ziny? He might be Ziny, and I got myself excited about that prospect. So kind of articulate it now. That happened just a moment ago where I was like taking joy in just the process and the discovery the process gives. And then as a part of that, I was like, let's take joy if he's a Ziny. And I did. I put Ziny up on him, and I was like, if he's Ziny, I'll be totally cool with that. And they're like, no, still doesn't fit. So I think him not fitting is not leaning. I think I am seeing things that disqualify Ziny for me. The cheek activation and the smile seems to be going more inward and lower lip.
Yep, I agree. See it there too.
But in cases like this, it's good to actually give some time. And that's also why we have the system of, you know, soft reads and then several degrees of assertion strength before it gets anywhere near bedrock. Now, one thing to do with mind journaling, there's a picture just prior to this. When it comes to Ziny versus Ziny, I can find here. Oh, here we go. Okay, is telling apart the gesturing can be very helpful. I see that yin feathering.
I can't tell from this picture.
Tell that or tell between the two?
Between the two.
Yeah, same here. I will say I'm not seeing obvious crystalline, obvious spider. His smiles look impacted.
Yeah, they look impacted. Looks like shy.
Oh, he has my IMDb.
Yep, looks like a Ziny.
Looks like Ziny. Excellent. All right, very cool. Yeah, that was my guy came back now like, yeah, was it Ziny? It's kind of funny. Like right after I did that, we can actually go back talking again.
Requested, we have Diamond Kitty.
An adult film actor.
Looks clear.
Does look clear.
Her eyes look clear.
Her skin has that that plump waxy quality.
Yeah.
We might be careful when we scroll here. This might actually get
X-rated.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's looking
Looks
like V alpha.
V first, yeah. Now we know that the ad serve or the ad prac tend to be have represented in adult film. So this, since we can see V first, that makes it likely it's a V Xi. But what we're looking for now is confirmation that we're actually seeing the cheeks non-reactive and G in the mouth. And this gets back to, because of that, what I'm doing to counter that, I'm actually looking to see if I can see V Xi to falsify. So for example, she does have plump cheeks.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of looking at that, what that means. Yes, here. Okay, this is helpful for me here. That looks like outward pucker.
Yeah, it does.
Like this whole thing she's kind of doing here, there's a version of this that knees I do. You see a lot in the red carpet, you know, the body cocked different side, and there's like a little mischievous perk up, and then sort of outward pouty lip and sheer cheeks.
Yeah.
This is interesting here, not to be too weird, but up here, she's making kind of like a moany face, and this whole thing she's doing is as if she's being impacted. So that's something that actually would be, you know, a Jai naturally does what she's doing, but this is, that emoting is actually outward puckering, even in this kind of maneuver where she's like being impacted. And that's because although the Jez pops out, actually this is Zai being impacted. We talk about Jai impacted, that's emotive impacted, but she's actually having like a just sort of like general impactedness, like their term, there. She's actually tilted back to her right. And you can see she has that chili holding ground, and just like the Jai holds ground but can be impacted. I don't know what word is for this. It's not an emotive impact like we associate with Jai users, but it's a
yeah, it's impacted. It's not emotive impacted.
And here's the word that actually comes to mind. It's an impersonal impacted, which is interesting because she's doing such a, you know, kind of like emotive gesture with her G. And so interesting enough, because sometimes it happens this way. Sometimes when a mojo is using a maneuver that is out of character, sometimes that can confuse you, but sometimes it actually makes it clearer. In this case here, the fact that she's doing this kind of maneuver, but that is to me clearly not Jai, it like highlights that's not Jai.
V Xi.
V Xi. Do we want to quick look at our digits?
I mean, yeah, looks compacted.
Nothing most compacted. Okay, there you go. Cool, thanks. All right, you can see there, compact wiggly in the hands. All right, so back up. Cuban Fury. Let's see. Actually, one that I'm noticing here on the sidebar, I would start with movies that are coming out in 2019, but I guess movies that were similar to some of those actually have come out before. So let's just discount now if it's not 2019. All right, so Cuban Fury, no. What about Laggies? Here next the movie.
Let's see.
Nope. How about Under the Eiffel Tower? That might work because I don't think I grabbed that. All right, so we have those people, have that person. Dylan Galula. Oh, we have her. Let's do some humans. All right, so boom. All right, I guess we'll go back to requested.
All right, we have Roberto.
It's Robert.
Kiyosaki.
That's a cool name too, Roberto Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy.
Businessman, investor, self-help author. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay.
Yeah, I want to come back to him.
Sob.
He does.
Zinai.
I was wondering about that, but I'm wondering if he could be a Vijay. Because there are some Vijay that do like entrepreneurial stuff. So I just want to kind of make sure I'm looking at him. I feel like I'm seeing those shades, the Zenai and Vijay. He gets chipperness about him, so I'm kind of taking that in. But the hand also looks kind of, might be choppy.
Yeah, I mean with the Zenai, right? Yeah.
A lot of V. I don't know if it's natural state or not, though. Right here. Okay, well, that's his wife. Just saying, she looks like a Vaji. Yeah, that she doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he's a Vijay, but it is contextual information. Because I was like, I kind of buttressing the other way. You saw these different things that are in your mind. On one hand, I'm like, ooh, entrepreneur, Vijay is much more rare when we see than the Zenai is. But then I'm like, oh, but she looks like a Vaji wife. That would be much more rare. So it's like different things. You kind of just note them both and go, okay. And then now I have to keep looking. Now here, I'm wondering if those cheeks are activating or not. He has an ethnicity that has sort of more flat cheeks. This is more challenging. I think
this is a lot of lift.
There's a lot of lift, right? There's a lot of V.
Yeah, that is.
I haven't seen pushing yet. We'll have it here. I think his cheeks are flexating.
This is again is a lot of lift.
Yeah. Now see, here's where it's challenging. When he's in repose, he has rather flat cheeks.
Yeah.
That, like here, I can still see it's that shade, but here when he does smile, that's not bucketing. I think it's doing the chipmunking.
Yeah.
Lack of a better term. You know what? I'm sorry, I got so excited about this. What's her name? Because
Kim.
Yeah, does she have anything? Oh, real quick here. Okay, this is helpful. Here, actually here I can tell he's ad ob jez. Like if I just saw this, I would actually be thinking between Nijai and Vijay, because this is his body language. Looks ad. The cheeks are activated. Just the whole thing has that kind of riff to it.
You want to see Kim Kiyosaki?
Yes, I'm feeling like Vijay might be the right answer with him. I keep putting Zenai up to make sure I'm not missing something. Like, I keep going like, is he a Zenai with lots of V and Jai? So I keep putting that up.
That's hurting.
Okay, how clear are these? Oh, how about that one? Hello, that's one. How about this one? Okay.
Yeah.
No, fuzzy. Well, how about here? I think there's something here I can work with. I keep looking, but yeah, this looks. She got stuff. All right, cool, excellent. Kim Kiyosaki. Yay. I may have mentioned that I am looking for Vaji ladies, actual ones, not like the other lady.
All right, so Vijay.
Vijay, soft read. Nice.
Hey, back to the movies.
Don't worry, baby.
$15.
Do we have John Magaro?
Let's check.
he's giving that. This is just from that picture. He's giving me that thing of shiny and Nizy. You know what I mean? Long.
Shiny.
Okay. Well, I have good instincts.
Yep.
Fine.
What else?
How about Ken Foreman? Just going with they hang together sometimes. You can just click on that thing. He might have something. Not a lot. All right. You want to try Google? No luck. Fair enough. All right. See anything else in here? Michael Cuomo. His body language is interesting.
Yeah, it looks like a shiny.
Ooh, do we have him? Oh, do we have him?
Let's see.
We get excited. Calm oneself.
We don't.
We do not have. Ow. Nice.
Yep. Shiny.
It looks like a shiny, but because I know where my headspace is at, one thing I like to do is I'm gonna try to fall slightly, try to see if there's any chance he's an IZ. I'm gonna look to see could he be an IZ. I'm gonna like summon a me that like I want him to be an IZ. So there's a me that I'm talking to like let's show them it's an IZ. So we're looking for stuff. Could he be an IZ? That's not helping. Okay, this is more helpful. Okay, this will be good here. Okay, so him in repose is more challenging. Like this look like right here, it'd be more easy to think he might be an IZ. Okay.
Looks receptive.
The body language is more holding space. And you're right, the eyes. How about here? It's a little more serious, this picture too. Okay, this is good here. He's kind of giving a little bit of like stare at you through you with the eyes, but I don't think it's first of all, it's not dreamy. It seems more tight, and it's not
piercing.
It's not natural state piercing.
That's a lot of emoting.
It is a lot of emoting. I think it's going in the eyes.
Yeah, same thing there.
Now here, so, yeah, even repose, the cheeks.
Flexate.
They flexate.
Yeah, it looks like a niche eye.
What's his name?
Not sure.
No, never mind. Here. Yeah. He's on his right here and it looks natural. When Nizy do the same kind of thing, it looks a little like a pausing of their normal taking space energy. And the body language there as well. Loose tensioning.
All right, shiny.
Shiny. Boom. Down to requested.
Bahar Kizil.
A music artist. Monrose.
Okay, so she looks ob with V.
V. Agreed.
That's a lot of V.
That's a lot of V.
That's gotta be a V alpha. Yeah, it's soft.
Yeah, it's soft. The hands there, the wrists, they look wiggly.
Yeah. I think it's going into cheeks.
Yeah.
Looks impacted.
Yeah, there. The way their hands are. Because you'll see Z9 music artists sometimes hit those kind of poses, but it looks different. That's when you can tell like the wrist tensioning and the shoulder tensioning when they do that maneuver.
Yeah.
It's not as loose as that.
Pointed cheek.
Over here. Because here she's giving the anvil. This will be good. That's a lot of V.
Yeah.
I think the cheeks are doing a little slight chipmunk mounding even in this anvil maneuver. She's giving kind of the hard face there.
Yeah. And here also, she's making a fist.
The energetic stride.
But doesn't have that tension.
That's a classic. Yeah, that is altered state tensioning.
Into the cheeks. Yeah.
Who is this person? I think I may mention up here. So I picture it. Mandy Capristo. Who's that? I'm kidding. I don't have the person.
Do you want to write her down?
Yeah. Mandy Capristo. All right. I'm thinking Vijay.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah, even when she gives that's probably the most challenging one because the Vijay Zenai thing kind of pops. Like, as far as like the Jai, you can see the Jai strong, and how much energy is in this lower lip. It's like coming up into the upper lip, and then the definition of these muscles here. Seeing that, but then even here, that anvil, I think I'm seeing Jez's cheek flexation.
Yeah, and you can see here the hands. It's just so very soft tensioning there.
Boom.
Do you have Sandy Molly?
No, because I wonder if she might get Jai. Ooh, this is exciting. Yeah, so we kind of file this. People kind of see it this way. We do read sometimes because it's good, so people know how the Rosetta Stone got built. But also, it's a kind of reading. My spirit's saying we should, show that.
All right. What's the next movie?
Next movie is. Did we finish Don't Worry, Baby?
We did. We went all the way down to the bottom.
Electric Love.
Although Will Brill, he may be something.
Let me check him out.
Yeah.
We have him.
Oh, we have him. Okay. Cool.
But goodness sake, he's a shiny.
Yeah. All right. So who?
Electric Love.
You also have Tom Lipinski.
Can you click on him? I think maybe can you check. Sounds familiar.
We got Tara Lipinski.
Another shiny. Yeah. We've been on it. We have been doing some canvassing, y'all. All right. Yes, but yes.
You have Christopher McDonald.
Yeah, sounds familiar. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Appreciate it.
Who's next?
Electric Love.
Electric Love.
Zachary Morin. Oh, that doesn't sound super familiar.
Looks sub.
Looks sub. Elongated. Looks kind of zazzy to me. I was wondering that maybe out here. I'm holding out like there's a chance he's a shiny, but I don't know. It kind of looks like a nice Z, or yeah, like that. As far as like being like a Ziny or a Shiny,
yeah,
that hand seems a little more yang.
Good.
What you said about that is it looks elongated, so sub, but
I'm not sure where we were with that anymore, but
all right, this work too. Yeah. Okay, so one thing you'll see here, he has elongation of sub mojo, but as far as why I'm thinking it probably is not a Ziny or a Shiny, is, besides what's going on his face, is his hands look more tensioned. And what it tells is when Ziny and Jiny do this kind of motion, they kind of move their hands upward into an up position and they rock their wrists back. He's just kind of doing natural talking like that. You'll see this, we're trying to find the right word, slackness in the base of the knuckles. There's this give, how like they, this knuckle will kind of bend inward. Even when it's doing things like this, like raising its hands up in like a neutral position, you'll see him kind of just naturally give. There'll be a little collapsibility here that is, it kind of tells apart the Ziny and Jiny from a Nai first mojo, for example, because telling those apart can be challenging. But this is one of the giveaways, is that base knuckle is not having that slackness. I call it the droopy because the softness, it often tends to go in the opposite direction of a power arc. Like here, this isn't the full-on power arc of the paddle hands of like a dur op, but there is a forward, I don't think you can see it, a forward rolling of these base knuckles. It's very subtle, but they're forward rolled and there's a slight forward tension in them. There's a forward tensioning here. Whereas with like a Ziny and Jiny, you'll see these knuckles sometimes kind of also come inward. But I think it's interesting, it's like they just fall. Falling knuckles, there's a falling knuckles. And this one I noticed between, we talk about the Ziny and Jiny as compared to the Zyvi and Jivy. They have, I think, the yinnest body language, posture, and hands. And it's because even although they have the ad sub feathering, the Zyvi and Jivy, it's not as pronounced that drop. Yeah, they falling. They fall in. Yeah, they fall into position. These knuckles are holding the fingers. There's a holding of them in there, as compared to the fingers, almost kind of like almost like they're free floating.
Yeah. Because
the base knuckles, unless they are actively tense, they just fall. Yep. Is that a word that doesn't sound bad?
Sure. Because I can keep working on word, but.
Yeah, because we say like slack or lack of tensioning, but I want to mention that it's slack and that it drops towards where gravity is. Like the rest of the hand can be doing something else, but they'll just kind of like fall towards gravity. Like they almost like they're in the hand falling on their own. It's very distinct. I think the Zyvi and Jivy have an aspect of it, but the V softens it. The embodiedness softens that drop. It's the most pronounced with Jiny and Ziny.
Okay, so he's probably an IZ.
Probably an IZ.
You want to take a look at anybody else?
Let's see here. Well, we looked into him. Let's go do a request and we'll come back.
Okay, we have Ethan Klein, YouTuber.
Okay. Yeah. He's one that I was wondering about. Is he like a, kind of mouthy Nijai, or is he like a soft, funny man Zenai?
Mm-hmm. He looks
Ob,
yeah, and with
looks like Jai here.
Yeah, Jai. Yeah.
We talk here. See how his lower lip looks like it's actually coming up into the rest of the mouth, and that's where the energy, the intensity is focused. This coming up into here, and it's being powered by these muscles. These muscles. Once your eye is trained on it, you'll notice it's definitely a thing. And once you pick it, like Jai is one of those things that once you get your head around what it is, when you see it, it's very distinct.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like I don't know that it's going into the cheeks.
No, that looks like bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd wondered if they were a Nijez couple. Because like she was in the Israeli military and so forth.
But you see the softness in the wrist.
In the eyes.
In the eyes. Receptivity. Yeah, look alike.
Bucket.
Yeah.
That's go there. You see, they're both giving emotive expression, but the cheeks are not activating.
Activating it.
Yeah, she's doing trumpet, he's doing bucket.
Bucket.
Yeah, and he's softer. He has a softer kind of body composition and lines, but I'm not seeing the cheeks activate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Here's good. There are big expressions here. This is good. This is like most, and we are seeing significant cheek lift.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the most cheek lift we've seen, but they're not flexing. They're just being lifted by the amount of energy of this kind of springboard. It's like tossing them up the face. You know what I mean? They kind of get like they ride up the face, but they're not pulling with the maneuver.
Yep. Okay.
Z9. Cool. So there is a Nez couple.
Do you want to see if there was anyone else
Yeah.
in this movie?
Let's see. Let me know if anything pops up to you. What about Haley Marie Norman? Anybody? Call them out. Oh, we have her.
Right.
What about Kyle Howard? Such a normal name. Sometimes they get these normal names. You think you have them because they're a normal name. But you're like, you know what? We don't actually have a Kyle Howard. You think you'd have a Kyle Howard, but
You don't. He looks familiar though.
he does look familiar. Yeah, we'll check on him.
Yeah.
What?
No, we don't have Kyle Howard.
Oh my goodness.
He's from the Hills or something. I was wondering if it's a Baiji.
Yeah, he's one of the ones that I was wondering, Baiji or Jaini. Because I was seeing long and I think Vi in the eyes, and the cheeks look like those are activating to me with this pictures here and here.
Yeah.
Those look like Jez cheeks to me.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Vi though.
A lot of Vi. Quite a bit of tensioning. See here?
He does. Because there are some Jaini who get pretty built, but it's still loose.
What is Lauren Conrad? Because I think they either are dating or have dated.
I think we have it down with Javi.
Yeah. He looks aware.
A lot of Vi in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this, by the way?
We have.
Oh, Garrett. Oh, here. Yeah, a lot of Vi.
Yeah, he looks aware.
Mm-hmm. The mouth keeps pursing in a placed position instead of slack or open mouth.
And younger. Yeah, and he has that even when he was younger. This tension, that coiled.
The Vi coil.
Coil.
Yeah, he has a good amount of V. You can see good V halo there, but inside natural state knee halo, but inside that tight, dense Vi quality.
Yeah.
Because he has a good amount of a V lift. I mean, a knee lift going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not concerned. Pointed.
All right.
All right.
Baiji, soft read.
Baiji.
Here's a few more Baiji. It's funny because, in the earlier years, because of journalism, I got a lead with Baiji males over Baiji. When they're the earlier hundreds, the Baiji male, they surged ahead. But then when I kind of cleared out journalism, finding more of them got more challenging. The Baiji once I started pulling on the sports and other stuff that they were in, actually, like they were everywhere. They ran ahead of the VG. So like, hey, remember you ran ahead of us, VG? So it's kind of funny. Yeah, because you remember there was a time where like, man, we need more VG.
Mm-hmm.
So
now we got a whole lot. Alexis Kleinman is the next requested journalist.
Well, I wouldn't say a whole lot, but more than VG. That surprised me. All right, this is requested. Let's see. I think I'm seeing Ob and V.
Yeah.
And we talked about how the eyes can be difficult to tell apart, but sometimes certain ones pop out. One V in particular tends to pop out.
Looks bucket. This maybe
I'm
is
curious. Yeah, I'm curious your thoughts on this, Charlene. For me, I've noted that in the eyes, V and Vi pop out more. I'm not sure if it's the yangness or whatever, but I find it's not uncommon for me to sort of like look for them, and then if they're not there, I go to like a subtler lens facet, be like, is it knee? Like, I don't know, like sometimes I'll see like gather and then knee immediately, but I've noticed that where it kind of goes, hi, I'm here. That happens to me more with V than knee. I don't know if the yang nature or what. And same thing with the Nye versus Vi. Like a lot of times it'll pop out, ooh, you know, they're der sub.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot, I don't think for me, sometimes like it pops out that it's a Nye G or a Nye Z, where not necessarily the first thing I was hit by was the eyes are Nye. It's more like a third gear or fourth gear or higher kind of thing. But with Vi mojos, like Vi first, a lot of times Vi, like the eyes, they really like kind of like I hit like I'm scanning over them. With V, particularly if they're V first or Vi first, it kind of like hits me. But even sometimes V second, we mentioned like that fitness guy earlier today, the Zyv dude, like the clarity of his eye just kind of like really captured my attention. So anyway, with her, the same. I just mentioned this case. I agree with Charlene. I think this might be a Xene eye, but interesting enough, the fact that she's der, that kind of hits me before the Nye. The Nye is a little softer for me anyway. Personal experience, I say. But for me, I kind of like I saw V and I'm like she's der. I saw V and der, and then Nye came as I looked more deeply and attentively. So don't know if that'd be for everyone, but just thought I'd mention it because that's been a consistent theme with myself. And as an IG, you know, obviously I have certain alchemic interests in Ni and Nye. And despite that being the case, still just the aesthetic of V and Vi eyes tend to like really like catch me as I scan over a mojo. Even like a light scan, that'll often pop out. Like if I was walking down the street, I think I would note Ob right away, obviously, V. And this is pretty much what I did here. Ob, V, der. It kind of would go that way. So interesting. All right, Z9. Do you want to look more or?
Do you want to point specific cues with her?
Sure. Okay. So for me, I would be wondering the most, is she a Bijai? Okay, so things that I see the Ob and I see the V in the eyes and I see Jai lower lip going. Okay, so now the subtle things on that. One is, and this is more challenging. She's a more challenging case because she has a lot of uplift. It's subtle, but the more I look at her and take her in, and I let sort of the blinginess of the V settle, she's pushing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like when you first look at her, you see Ob and bright eyes. But the more I'm looking at her, her shoulder, her chin, the tilt forward of her forehead, even the set of her eyes, it's forward. There's more forward energy than there is lifted energy. So that's one. But it's subtle. And this gets into it where you have to kind of like understand the signals you're getting and set your lens at different calibrations to find different things, because that signal is a softer aesthetic signal than the V, for example. The V really jumps. Also, she has plump cheeks. The plump cheeks pop out. So that was when I take a while to look at, as they are plumping, but they're not flexating. You know, we talked about how with the Jai mojos or Jai users, they have these muscles down here that tend to have more development and kind of swirliness to them down here. But another aspect is there's like a swirly kind of quality. This is subtle, but it's kind of high level, so it's cool. Is between people who have G and Jai. Is those who are G mojos, they will have like a kind of like a little more of a uniform flex, for lack of a better term, which corresponds to how the upper lip moves. But with Jai mojos, their cheek mound, it does like a swirly clinch, a swirly squinch that is reminiscent of the muscles down here. You know, it's a little bit like what you call like a whirlpool. You know what I mean? Like a whirlpool. Mm-hmm. It has like a whirlpool squinchy. And down here, they have like this a whirlpool kind of squinchy at the lower corners of the mouth. So besides the G mojos having the upper lip move more, the muscles also have more of a kind of like you imagine like a hand clenching in. It's more uniform, more all pulling at once, more of a concerted effort. So anyway, that's kind of like a subtle one, but pass it along. But anyway, on that, I'm not seeing it.
No,
I'm not seeing that whirlwind swirly squinching that happens, because Jai mojos, even they do just a little bit in the mouth, their cheeks will also do this little whirlwind squinch, whirlpool squinch. Yeah, but the amount of V makes it challenging, and the plumpness of the cheeks. But here, this is good one. Her eyes are really bright, and she's putting on a very friendly demeanor. I still feel weight in the eyes, weight into me, a pushing into me. It's bright and it's friendly, but it's a bright, friendly push.
Yep.
Curious for your thoughts.
Yeah.
You jumped right to it. What was it that you went right there?
Yeah, I mean, she jumped out to be first things was odd with V, so kind of similar to how you came in. But then I wasn't seeing any whirlpool action as far as the muscles in her cheeks, and then I was also seeing the lower lip. The lower lip Jai action, and I was seeing bucket in some of the pictures. So, so like this one, for example.
Yeah, it's fuzzy, but you can see the bucket there.
Yeah, but you can still see it. And this one. So yeah, so that's how I got there.
Something I'm noticing now, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this, is like here, for example, her overall posture is a bit more lionic. It's a soft face, bright-eyed lionic, but that's like a subtle cue. But sometimes when Durab jump out, that's one of the things is they just have this. We talk about the squared-off tension bearing of the body, but also just the way they hold their neck and head, and also just the way they style their hair, the way they toss their head, the way they kind of move in concert with their coif. It's like a whole thing with the Durab. All four of them have that. I think the Zevi kind of have obviously the helmet quality is strongest with them. I think they have the strongest helmet quality, but this sort of lionic quality of like a mane, that they're like presentation wise aware they have a mane.
Yeah.
Z and I do that quite strongly
as well. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Z and I.
And the thing that Zevi just said, that might be weighted by the fact that we have a lot of athlete Zevi, because I'm actually thinking of the fewer samples we have that are like presenters or beauty. They also, I think, do have that kind of lionic mane coif.
Yep. Okay, back to the electric glove. I think, do we have Matt Bush?
That's such a generic name. I have no idea.
Let's see.
Nothing against the person's name, but.
Actor.
He looks familiar, but I could imagine it wrong.
You want me to check?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
baseball, not the other guy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look. He looks he looks knee. Not in his case. Sometimes this is almost how my psyche will pull it, like when it's just fast. He really hits me as ad, but he's not hitting me as V. So that's sometimes how my brain registers. I now can also see like it's diffuse and so forth, but like it has this pulling in quality, but with that softer look. Here's good because he's really bright in this one. That's pretty bright, but not clear. Okay.
That looks impacted.
It does. Those hands are pretty compact on the package. It looks like. And this is a good thing here because also it looks like low tensioning because he's actually got a claw grip on that object there. But those knuckles, those base knuckles, they're loose tensioning for that maneuver. Oh, this is good resolution. That's a lot of lift.
Yeah, it's a knee dry.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the looser tension, but it's not quite as slack as the ad sub. So it's a little more up wiggle.
Yeah. You see the hand there, more compact.
Yeah. That was good. Can you go back to that again?
Maybe. Think.
That's okay. No worries.
Yeah. By maybe I mean no. Sorry.
By the way, who's that on the left of him? Never mind.
Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, here's something going. Wish they wouldn't keep intruding on the man's chin like this, but his mouth is going a bit broad and sideways. I think it's just the shape of his mouth, but I think I'm seeing more energy in that lower lip.
Yeah.
And that chin muscles. They talk about swirly. There's more than this, but I'm just going to look at base here. There's kind of like some swirly areas I look for. One is here, down at the corners of the mouth down here. All Jai users have that. Then there's the swirly up here in the cheeks. Oh, sorry, back down here real quick. This swirly, but also there's a swirly in the chin. Jai users have a swirly in the chin of muscles flexation as well.
You can see that well here.
No, great. Okay, it's not very clear, but even still with this fuzziness, you can see that strikes me as Jai. That kind of dexterity and swirliness in the chin fascia is usually a Jai mojo. Back here, some distinctions is I do think I'm seeing like a lift here. I'm seeing a little bit of flexating, but I'm not seeing here. There's another one that swirls over the eyes. And that's the one that you see with the Jai first. They have like an eyes swirl. It's cool. Yeah, I'm thinking Jai.
Yeah. You also see the lower lip Jai there.
Yeah, you can see more of that chin. Well, if it was good resolution. In a perfect world. Yeah, every now and then, the shape of his mouth is a little challenging on, say, Cheshire, because the way his mouth is, it looks a little more sideways. Because a lot of times Jai tends to have more like an upright, ovally quality. Even the Nijai and the Zivai, Vijay, the ones that have it who are ob, theirs is more O-like than say Jai users who are sub. They tend to have more of the upright ovals that goes, you know, various degrees in the face based on where it ranks signal wise. But I don't know. I'm noticing with him, it's helpful that the chin, I can see that activating, because that, despite this shape, I'm still seeing the lower lip. It's all in concert. Lower lip drops down, like you say with bucket, except this chin activates. On that, it's subtle, but there's a it's more tight than not there with say Zenai. They also have some chin squinchy. It doesn't take up the whole chin. It stays more in the center of the chin. But with Jai Mojos, it kind of encapsulates the whole chin. Like the swirly of the chin actually touches. Oh, it's kind of, yeah, the swirly of this touches this swirly, which touches this swirly. So that's very helpful, because like I said, just the shape of this, it is more, I'd say shallow and sideways. And you do see that more often with the Vizai and Nizai, but that is a lesser consideration than was going on all this fascia. Oh, for example, he's a Vizai right here. Okay, so you can kind of see how it naturally goes a little more sideways. And he actually has a softer face, but it has that outward pucker energy. Outward pucker, and I'm not seeing the swirlies.
Mm-hmm. No swirlies.
No, I do see a good amount of activation energy here. I mean, he has G. You know, you can see he has the I think the fascia. Even right here, like I'm seeing, I think, fascia dexterity, like in this upper lip. Oh, sorry, no, there you go. But like here, almost like a mustache. His upper lip and like the mustache area has.
Yeah, it's over here too. You can see.
Ah, nice, thank you. It's fuzzy, but what she's saying is true. He's doing a little bit more of an outward snarl there, a little more outward maneuver, and it's a little more energy. And you can see, look here, it's these upper lip mustache muscles. the mustache upper lip. You see more dexterity and more of the emotive fascia making muscles are located there. That's true.
Right.
But you know,
Nijai.
Oh, another thing too, even though it's thin, I saw it there, as mentioned on some of the other ones, the Zenai, but same thing here. The energy, besides this swirliness here, the lower lip is pushing up. It got that wide position by that lower lip smushing up into the upper lip. You see here, that muscles right there, pushing it up and in. Nice. So for him, can you put mat 2 push, or just put the end there, it's fine too. All right.
Right down to requested, we have Joanna Klum.
TV moderator on Viva. All right. Get back real quick. That she does look long. And also here, that shoulder posture, the whole set of it, that reminds me of ad sub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That had like this sinking into place, where like kind of like just like falling, like the exact that falling kind of quality. She's maybe found what word, but collapsing or dropping. It's dropping into place.
Yeah, you can see her body here, low tension.
You see she has like these drop shoulders. And back up here, look here. Here she has a drop shoulder. She also has the drop, you know, kind of like the jut is like up and forward. She's kind of like the chin's going down, the head is dropping down. It really kind of accentuates that signal of holding space. It looks very comfortable being where it is. Like there's more gravity to where the space they're holding. That space they're holding has seen more gravity on their posture than it does with other mojos. Part of that overall kind of calming energy. And the fact that she looks so comfortable where she's holding space, she's sort of sinking into it. All right, I've been watching more. The next thing's kind of coming to me. I think I'm seeing like the eyes are pretty clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, and this is going here because she has a very yin posture. I think I might still be seeing embodiedness.
Yeah, I agree.
As compared to like one of the nest towers.
Yeah.
Yeah, some
Compacted.
does look compacted. Something she looks more fuller face than others, but that's the overall saying elongation.
Yeah, and the body look with the
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah, and they're on that hand on the hip kind of maneuver. That drop wrist is another thing that you see a lot more with ad sub. And you'll sometimes see like Naiji or Vaiji hitting that kind of thing. And they're really good at making it look like it dropped natural. But if you look closely, it didn't drop natural like that. It's placed there. But that's dropped. That's actually low baseline tensioning.
Yep. The hand there.
Looks like impacted lower lip.
Yeah.
Slack expectancy.
It looks like a JV.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hands. A little tensioning.
Anyways, this is good, looks like. Yeah. It's got that plump, waxy skin.
Quality.
Cool. Shabby.
Shabby.
Sometimes at the end, we kind of go for a little bit quiet. I'm not sure about Jolly myself. I kind of just looking like, is there anything that will disqualify what I just?
Yeah.
I kind of look for a snag.
But no, not seeing anything with her.
Yeah.
All right. How about Fahima and Lara? I was wondering.
Do it.
We have him. He seemed like he was
Yeah,
familiar.
I think he does. We do.
Okay. Never mind.
I think it might be an Nizai or something.
Yeah.
How about Tim Pepper or Peeper? Even if it was originally pronounced Peeper, I might tell he was pronounced Pepper.
Yeah, it might be easier in grade school.
Do we have him?
Nope.
Mwahaha. All right. Not the best here.
No.
It's like the best one I have, but those aren't great. It's a shame because I'm wondering if he's a shiny, but this is not enough. Oh. It sucks. I seriously suspect this dude might be a shiny, but
Yeah, you have to move on.
I have to move on. Go! Get more famous, please. Or just take more pictures.
Ben Figus.
Okay. Looks familiar.
Let's check.
Is that just a riff?
We'll find out.
Ooh, because you know he was riffing me on? Shiny males. Uh-huh. All right. Okay, the posture is interesting. Not very.
His hands are kind of compacty.
Maybe. Face is kind of long.
He looks ad.
He does look ad. He looks, yeah. Knee. That looks soft
Yeah.
diffuse. Seems more long in his face and body. Maybe it's just because he always wears his sleeves long.
Yeah, that could be actually.
Oh, head back. Oh, they don't give names. Why? I think there might be two more shiny there. I think these three here on the right, the one on the left looks like he might be a Nizai. You know, he has a Nizai. But these three here, I have a little trio of shiny. They did not give us names.
No. No.
Why?
That's the way it works.
Why would you do that?
His hands look very compact, though. That is very compact, and I keep seeing that.
All right.
Wonder if he's like a Seth Rogen, or.
I don't know. How about here? That looks like a Chinese in the face, and the body language too. But I totally see what you're saying with the hands. I'm not dismissing that. I'm just saying the face and the body seem to be another direction. Yeah, let's put him workbench. We'll take a look at him when we do video.
Cool.
But he's intriguing enough to add to the collection.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Onion Nauer.
An actor.
Looks long. She looks nose.
I'm seeing sheer cheeks, I think. That if she keeps him very impassive. Does she have IMDb? Yeah. Yeah, long fingers too.
Yeah, this looks like a ziny.
So I'm
she
thinking,
looks like that one from Luther, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, ziny. Looks like.
Yeah, she reminds me of. Who's the one from Bedazzled? Anyway, she reminds me of that ziny. Yeah, there. That looks like Trumpet. And you see the bright eyes. That's a good one because that was really high res. And you see the eyes are quite bright, but that's diffuse. That's a diffuse brightness as compared to that camera brightness of V. Oh, and comparing to the other sample we just saw, the Jivey, she's also doing that drop shoulder, drop chin, that sinking in that both the ad sub have, but it does not have the embodiedness. The overall body and also the skin qualia in the face.
Yeah.
Let's go. What else? Let's see what Google has. Just that wasn't a lot, but yeah. There we go. And look for high res so I can really zone in the cheeks. But yeah, those look like Zez cheeks.
All right.
Ziny.
Ziny.
Nice. You jumping that quick. What was it that popped? Was it overall or something particular?
Overall, and then what else? The mouth looked like G. It looked very localized. The eyes looked receptive. And looked like neat. Yeah, sheer cheeks. So, all signs pointed in that direction. Well, I was wondering about Matt McFarlane.
All right. It looks might be a Durserve. We move on.
Okay. All right.
Or a Z-Bar or something, I don't know, but anyway. Let's start another one then. That was Electric Love. What about Someone Mary Berry?
Oh.
I don't make these titles up, Charlie. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. What about well, this is new. I know that. Love, Death, and Robots. It's that sci-fi anthology
on Netflix.
All right.
Scott White.
So this might be good. This might be good. Or not. We're planning to watch this anyway, right?
We are.
Yeah, so let's read the whole cast. So let's see.
We've seen him.
Do we have him?
Let's check.
He could just have one of those faces.
Good. What's his name?
Scott White.
No?
No.
Yeah,
All right.
he has one of those faces.
Hmm.
Oh. Is this like they're playing casual?
I was wondering,
Like
or is this a Nizai that's doing?
okay, I did remember him from this movie.
I saw the.
First Ride of Wyatt.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think I'm seeing Broad and Zez.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like a Nizai or Xena or
That's it.
it's like a maybe Nizi, like a Kurt Russell style Nizi, Broad. Because eyes are kind of squinty. I'm kind of taking it in. This is interesting here. This might be Nizai.
Back in the day.
Not a lot.
No.
Bless you.
Thank you.
But these pictures that are better media, I think I'm seeing Ob.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, I think I might be seeing Nizai because I keep wondering about Jinai because I think I'm seeing Ji, but then I'm also like thinking I don't see the cheeks move, so I'm wondering Zinai. So those three I'm kind of throwing around in my head, but the Nizai is making the most sense of what I'm observing. But I don't feel comfortable enough calling it. Yeah, I think we just move on.
Yeah.
Plus so he's likely maybe a Nizai, but
All right.
we should move on.
We'll try another requested you Krokich.
Sure. Is that how you pronounce that? I've seen the name before. You. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks odd.
It does. Looks. I think Zez.
Yeah.
This might be an Izai. Because look at the way he's got his lips there.
Yeah.
We talk about the swirly, but with the G users, they have more energy up here, and you see these muscles at this mustache muscle range. You're not seeing a whole lot down here. In fact, even this is actually secondary of this. It's part of this mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that one there? Is that good? Yeah, this looks Ab and Zez.
Yeah, he looks like a Nizai.
And his eye.
Not a lift.
He doesn't project his lift as much as some Nizai do. He kind of goes more for the serious look.
You can see there.
Yeah, so I'm trying to I'm trying to falsify with Zenai, but again, I'm not seeing any slack. Even Zenai, who are der, they still have that expectancy in the emotive maneuvers around the mouth. Yeah, okay, back one there. This is a classic example. Okay, this is a big smile. We've been seeing a lot today with Jia users, and when they do this kind of thing, you see these swirls down here, swirls here, swirls here. Look where it is with him. That and the lower lip pulls, but here, look, this upper lip has flared up, and then there's these muscles here, in like a what do you call that? There's handlebar. I need to get our mustache names down. But there's a handlebar mustache where it goes a little past, and then there's handlebar where it goes down a bit to there. You know, like we're talking cowboy style. That's kind of where the G muscles, you can really note their movements. Upper lip and then this sort of cowboy mustache area.
Yep.
Yep.
All
Boom.
right,
Oh, that's time. Excellent.
All right, let's tag him.
All right, so that'll do it for today's session. Jailene and I are going to be continuing on with the family bubble, doing a lot of interesting things there. And then I will be next week looking to do the one where I tell apart the eye palette. So looking very forward to see what gets discovered in that process. Okay, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.